In the headlines, Rivers State Governor meets Lawal and Dogara as Kwankwaso cautions lawmakers. National Association of Resident Doctors give federal government fresh ultimatum over welfare demands. 5 dealers, 32 drug addicts arrested in Katsina State. And finally, on the foreign scene, Iraqi protesters stormed parliament in Baghdad for the second time in a week. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Updates. I am Mardia Umar. Thank you for joining. And now the news in detail. The Nigerian military have revealed that 60 terrorists were neutralized and 120 arrested, while over 70,000 terrorists surrendered to the army. The army, in its monthly update, said it has secured the release of 3 more Chibok girls from the Boko Haram captivity, while also being on the lookout for Kuje prison escapees. Trust TV spoke with the freed Chibok girls about the experiences in the hands of the terrorists. The report.
For the past 2 months, the military in its operation has rescued 5 missing Chibok girls who were abducted in April 2014. The latest to be rescued are 3 girls, namely Ruth Bitrus, Kauna Luka, and Hanatu Musa. They were rescued with their children by the troops of 21st Special Armored Brigade in Bama in June and July. We escaped Boko Haram camp at about 4 a.m. We walked through bushes and arrived Bama, where we met the soldiers, and they brought us here. While we were in captivity, they gave us everything we needed, food and meat. We were 4 that escaped that morning, but the other 2 are not Chibok girls. When we arrived Bama, we contacted my brother, who sent us recharge card to sell so we could transport ourselves back home. Then that was when we met with the soldiers. I've not communicated with my parents because the army collected our phones. I want to see my parents again. The army said it will not relent until the remaining Chibok girls, including Leah Shaibu, are rescued.
And a 27-year-old suspected leader of IEC secret court group, Saheed Taiwo, who was arrested by policemen from the Inspector General of Police Intelligence Response Team, has given a chilling account of how his gang kills and cut off hands of any rival court members who run into their trap. The suspect was arrested in Ogun State along with 2 other members of his killer squad, Oyede Suleiman and Azaya Babatunde. They are allegedly responsible for most of the violent crime in Ogun State. The suspect has been under close watch of the police because of brutal killings his gang members committed. And the Force Public Relations Officer Muyiwa Adejobi, who confirmed the arrest of the court members, also assured that other members of the different court group responsible for the killings in Ogun State would be arrested.
My name is Saheed Taiwo, aka Akerele. I am from Abeokuta. I am 27 years old. My father is from the Ita Ocean area of Abeokuta. I attended July's nursery and primary school, Ita Ocean, Abeokuta, and Anglican High School, Ibara, also in Abeokuta. I dropped out of school in SS2 in 2019. I was arrested for courtism. I am a member of the Black Axe Confraternity, popularly known as AYE. I was initiated into the group in 2018. I was initiated by Easy. He was the leader and the number 1 then. On my own, I cannot say that I have killed any number of persons. We operate as a group and we have killed many people. I cannot even say the number of people that we have killed. We were always instructed by our leaders in the group to go and kill. Anytime we kill any rival member, we used to cut off their hands. Other members of my killer group are Ben, Dreams, We use the severed hands for ritual. We have assorted arms and ammunition. There is hardly any arms you cannot find with our group. We have single and double barrel guns, AK-47 and many more. I was using double barrel gun for operation. I used to keep my gun with Rasky. He escaped on the day I was arrested by the police. We give the severed hands to a set of twins in the Ago Oka area of Isale, Ogun in Abeokuta. It has been long that we have been giving the severed hands of our rivals to the twins. That was how I met it.
And still in Ogun State, men of Ogun State Police Command have arrested a 53-year-old woman, Chinyere Nwozu, for stealing a 1-week-old baby boy. A statement by the Ogun State Police Public Relations Officer Bimbola Oyemi said the suspect was arrested when she was seen with a crying baby but could not breastfeed him as expected of a mother. This aroused suspicion of some members of public who quickly alerted the police at Shongota Divisional Headquarters. On interrogation, she confessed to the police that she's not the biological mother of the child, but that she bought the child somewhere in Agege area of Lagos State through one Ngozi Akeme at the rate of 500,000 naira. And no fewer than 26 corpses of residents of Duma village in Tureta local government area of Sokoto State have been recovered. The victims reportedly drowned in an attempt to escape from a gun duel between security operators and bandits in a nearby forest. Daily Trust learned that the incident occurred last Wednesday when operators under Operation Hadarindaji engaged suspected bandits who rustled livestock in some communities in the neighboring Zamfara state. The Public Relations Officer of Sokoto Police Command, DSP Sanusi Abubakar, who confirmed the incident, however, dismissed the report that some of the residents were shot by bandits, saying there were no gunshot injury on any of the recovered corpses. Meanwhile, Governor Aminu Waziri Tambuwal of Sokoto State on Friday condoled with the people of Duma village over the incident. The National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP, in collaboration with Facebook and the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, United States, have concluded plans to set up Amber Alert Nigeria. Amber Alert Nigeria is an emergency response system where Facebook sends alert to targeted Facebook communities to help find missing children in Nigeria who may be under exploitation. Nduka Nwawene, Benin Zonal Commander of NAPTIP, said this during an interview with newsmen on Saturday in Calabar, while commemorating the World Day Against Trafficking in Persons. And according to him, the system will soon come on stream to help in the fight against human trafficking. And WDATP 2022 is a day set aside to raise awareness of the plight of children and victims of human trafficking and to promote and protect their rights against grave human rights violation with the theme Use and Abuse of Technology. And now to Katsina State, where the command of the National Drugs Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, says it has arrested no fewer than 5 drug dealers and 32 addicts in the state. Those arrested, according to the command, include a female and a physically challenged, among others. Abdullahi Hamadi completes the story.
These arrests were made within 24 hours only, a situation that shows the magnitude of drug sales and consumption in Katsina State. These suspects were apprehended around some spots within Katsina metropolis.
So sad that from just an arrest of 1 ampoule of pentauxine led the operatives to the arrest of close to 1,000 ampoules of pentauxine, which is one of the narcotic injection that is being abused.
The Katsina State Commandant of the NDLEA, Bashir Ahmad, claimed that all the dealers were arrested with various prohibited drugs and other substances.
And the place was searched. We recovered some of the ampoules there, and that one equally took the officers to the main dealer where they get the supplies, where Salisu Lawal was arrested around Kofa and Nagogo Road, Kofa and Dobi, within Katsina State, with 820 ampoules of pentahocin injection.
Drugs such as pentazocine injection, marijuana, and other substances suspected to be dangerous to human health were recovered from the suspects. The anti-drugs agency in Katsina is also concerned about lobbying, especially by some political actors who use their influence to secure the release of their relatives.
The essence is not just arrest them and cancel them briefly and let them go. We want to keep them for a minimum of 3 months, where some of them will go through proper counseling rehabilitation.
While promising to take the suspects to court for prosecution after investigation, the NDLEA boss vowed to take the fight against drugs to the hideout of the perpetrators. Abdullahi Ismailadi, Trust Television News, Katsina.
The former secretary to the government of the Federation, Babachir Lawal, and the former Speaker, House of Representatives, retired Honorable Yakubu Dogara, on Saturday met with the Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike. The closed-door meeting held at Governor Wike's country home in Obio Akpor local government area of Rivers State. And speaking with journalists after the meeting, former Speaker, House of Representatives Yakubu Dogara hinged his visit on the quest and search to build an all-inclusive Nigeria. Similarly, the former secretary to the government of the Federation, Babachir Lawal, explained that the mission was a brotherly visit to the governor of Rivers State. Lawal said the interaction with the Rivers State governor had nothing to do with the meetings of northern leaders held in Abuja.
We came to visit our brother. He's our brother, so every now and then the Bible enjoins you to visit one another. That's what we have just done.
Well, nothing much, but just like he said, everyone agrees with us that Governor Wike is one of those indispensable political leaders. And for us, it's a search to build an all-inclusive Nigeria. So we feel that as part of the agenda setting, we should meet with him. And that is the reason why we're here. But the rest of whatever it is, maybe in the future we can discuss that.
And the presidential candidate of New Nigeria People's Party, Rabiu Kwankwaso, has warned members of the National Assembly to treat with caution the effort to impeach the president over the challenges of insecurity in the country, as it is the responsibility of all to find solution to the challenges. Rabiu Kwankwaso made the appeal during a courtesy call on Kwara State Governor in Ilorin. The report.
Accompanied by some national leaders of his party, the presidential candidate of the New Nigerian People's Party, Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, urged the National Assembly members not to be in a hurry to impeach the president, as the issue of insecurity affects everybody.
I'm not there. I don't know the facts that they have, but I want to, as their former colleague, I want them to tread very softly. They shouldn't be in a hurry to rock the boat. Yes, I know they have reasons to be worried, just like I'm very worried. I'm sure everybody in this country is worried about the security, because some of these things could happen to anybody. It could happen to the president, it could happen to even the governor.
On whether the country has the capacity and capability to win the war against insurgency, he affirmed that the Nigerian military forces are capable, but however advised the country to consult widely across the country irrespective of political differences, and also change the tactics being used presently.
Our soldiers are good enough to bring peace to this country. But there are certain requirements that the government has to look at. But even if they cannot do that, for whatever reason in their assessment, they should look at alternatives.
The Kwara State Governor, on his part, called for understanding and collaboration between politicians to bring about development to the country irrespective of differences.
Politicians, we're all on the same side trying to build a better nation. It's like football, where you have a team and then you look for a good coach. So We, the politicians, are the coaches, and we all have our ways of trying to win. It should be politics without bitterness. We should understand each other to see how we want to get to where we're going.
The two politicians agreed on the need for politicians to always consider the interest of the country first and join hands in providing solutions to the challenges facing the country.
You're still watching Trust TV News Updates. Coming up shortly, we'll take a look at why price of sachet water climbs up. These stories and more after the break. Do stay with us.
Every patriotic Nigerian should hear this. Any politician who means well for the people will never allow themselves or their supporters to engage in any violent, destructive activities. No politician who truly wants to serve the people and develop the nation will encourage his followers to destroy properties or take human lives before, during, or after the elections. The Nigerian public must watch out for these traits and isolate any politician who encourages supporters to engage in violence. No genuine politician or patriot will cause trouble and seek to destroy the very society which they aspire to lead or develop. Politicians who have the good of the people at heart will not allow themselves or their followers to engage in violence, destruction of properties, and then taking of lives. Be vigilant. By their words you shall know them. Shun violence. Stay away from politicians who want you to do so. Let's join hands to make the 2023 elections peaceful. This message is from the National Orientation Agency, NORA.
Welcome back. You're still watching the news update on Trust Television. And before we get back to some of the stories, let's take our headlines again. We told you that Rivers State Governor meets Lawal Dogara as Kwankwaso cautions lawmakers. And moving on to more stories. Muslims have been charged to imbibe the lesson of Hijrah and continue to promote peace as they commemorate the new year in the Islamic calendar. Osun State Governor Adigboyega Oyetola gave the charge in Osogbo on Saturday at the commemoration of this year's 1444 AH in Osogbo, the state's capital. As speaking on the occasion, the governor, represented by his commissioner for special duties, Olalekan Badmus, urged Nigerians to continue to live in peace and harmony and shun divisive tendencies.
1444 for today, celebrated with Muslims all over the world for the Hijrah 1444 that is being celebrated today. He has charged all Muslims to continue to be peaceful because peace is what the Islam itself means. Mr. Governor has encouraged everyone to follow the dictate of this message of peace.
Calendar we are using is not ordinary calendar. It's a calendar that dictates the religious worship of Muslims.
Our leaders to be just in all their activities, because it is because we lack justice in the administration, in governance in Nigeria, and that's why there are a lot of crises here and there. The need for the leadership of the country to be just, if we are just in terms of distribution of political offices, in terms of distribution of wealth, in terms of everything, there won't be crisis.
I thank Almighty Allah for His grace, for making us alive to witness another Hijrah 1444 AH. I want to say that Hijrah is important because it's not a matter of moving from one place to another. It's a matter of moving from maybe our old ways, or maybe from things that are wrong, or things that are un-Islamic, to things that are good and are Islamic.
Now, Nigeria's inflation rate currently sits at 18.6%. As it continues to climb higher, it pushes the price of commodities along with it. Chamunda Beng explores the impact of this in the cost of sachet water. The report.
Once 5 naira per sachet, pure water as it is popularly called in Nigeria was one of the cheapest commodities. Today it is 3 times higher than its original cost, leaving many wondering what the hike says about the value and strength of the naira.
It's bad, and I know that it's condition of the Nigeria make it to be happen like that. Even you went to market, things you buy 50 naira now is 100 naira. 150, 200, see more cost of motor now. I know how much I take reach here, from Jabi here to here, 200 naira. Where are we going? Naira don't die, pata pata. Naira don't die, we know they use anything, nothing, you don't get value. You don't get value. So now you see $1, as dollar go up, you take $100 now, so then you go change them. The money where them go give you, they go take you to your house again. Nothing go take them back. But even before, people go to talk, they enjoy, they go.
Current cost of pure water since last year, pure water has gone up. At least January we'll get it. Control price 200 per bag. And then somebody say 250, which is so bad because we supposed to be real owners of water. Water is supposed to be number one. Everybody needs water. They say water is a big prime item person needs. If the valuation comes in Nigeria have currency, everybody, even a new baby, more than naira has no value. What they say naira is selling for, dollar is selling for 7 what? Actually from between 700 to 750, you can know what it means. So for you to get 75,000 naira before you climb to that place, so the value of naira is jeopardized.
The strength of our naira, it has, just like I say, it has brought it to a stage whereby the money is no longer functioning very well. You know, from 5 to 20, and the water is just in a small package. The way you turn it into these ragories, it's almost filling the ragories. But still, the cost from the low stage, the thing is too high. If it had come to 10 naira or 15 naira, it would have been more better.
Based on responses, it is evident that Nigerians may be losing faith in the naira, especially due to its recent fall against the US dollar. Chamunda Beng, Trust TV News, Abuja.
And some more business news. The federal government says at least 18 billion naira has been expended in the National Social Investment Program for 183,193 beneficiaries in Niger State in the last 7 years. The focal person of the National Social Investment Program in the state, Amina Musa, made this known when beneficiaries held a thank you 2-kilometer road march on the impact of the program.
Amina said 25,888 benefited from the N-Power program, while 80,000 households benefited from the conditional cash transfer. Other categories of beneficiaries were 14,000 under homegrown school feeding, 53,849 benefited under trader money, 8,263 from market money, while 62,112 farmers received up to 300,000 soft loans under farmers' money.
So the way we have structured the implementation process has made it easy for us. They have program managers. Program managers, then you go down to desk officers in the various local governments, and then we even go as far as ward, and then we go as far as communities. So, we are able to capture all these beneficiaries, and we are what we call independent managers.
The program manager, Homegrown School Feeding Program, Usman Ndashaba, said the concern of hygiene earlier raised by parents and the State House of Assembly had been addressed through strict supervision of cooks.
We are not perfect in the system, even though we are doing this program as far as
We have some challenges, and some of the challenges are some of the schools within the state are not yet captured. That's one. Two, we're having some small challenges in mandatory areas where the children cannot sit down comfortably and feed. Some of them are relocated to IDPs, some of them are relocated to some schools in the neighboring communities. Thirdly, some of our challenges are the cooks. Some that are in riverine areas, sometimes it's very hard for them to get some of their items as at when due. We are trying hard to ensure that these abnormalities are corrected. Inshallah, we are on the third tranche feeding of 2022.
Some of the NPower beneficiaries who lamented that their June stipends had not been paid called on the federal government to absorb them into the federal civil service.
All the STFs will thank them because they are the ones that used to guide us through how to use the money that we are given. So I thank them all.
And on the international scene, protesters have once again breached Iraq's parliament in a show of support for influential Shia leader Muqtada al-Sadr, leaving at least 125 people injured and escalating a political standoff. Saturday's protest comes days after protesters stormed the legislative body and suspended a session to nominate a new prime minister. Thousands of supporters rallied by Sadr and his Sadrist movement tore down concrete barriers and entered the Green Zone, which houses government departments and foreign missions, before breaking into parliament. The scene followed a similar protest on Wednesday, although this time at least 125 people, including demonstrators and police, were wounded, according to a health ministry statement. And that brings us to the end of the news update in this hour. For more, you can follow us across all our social media platforms. I am Martia Umar. Thank you for watching and stay tuned.